It is April the 18th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Rec site, the St.simons Sound. Oh, what a day. We thought we were going to get out and actually see some possibility of some separation of Section 7 from the Golden Ray, but the chains were slack. It looked like they were having some sort of issue up in the area towards the top. It's obvious that they made some great progress through the night, and we thought that they would possibly be able to get this thing cut and separated today. But we didn't see that going on when we were out. And this is a bit earlier in the day, having some light sprinkles. We had a little bit of rain that moved through last night through the area. But first thing we noticed was we had a couple guys that were up on the ship, on the hull, in the area of that chain, and they had torches out, and they were back cutting. And we can kind of also see from this angle how the cut line has kind of, looks like it took a little jog back to the stern, and I don't know if this is playing into the problem of what they are having now with the chain maybe not tracking like it was supposed to towards the end of the cut. But these guys were up there with the torches. It looked like they were cutting back through some of the hull material, and hopefully this will relieve some of the pressure on that chain. The site from the this is looking back from the north side of the ship. What is the stern section, Section 7, the section being cut. And as we look back into the throat of the VB 10,000, if you will, we can see that the chains were slack, and but in addition to that, there was just all kinds of activity going on the ship and on the VB 10,000. Now we've seen the guys that were cutting over on the hull side, and we got a couple more shots. We'll see some of that. But in addition to that, the guys were also working on the offshore side chain area towards the top of the ship. We could see personnel up there on the ship and on that side as well. And it looked like they were trying to get something done in there around where that cut area was. Not exactly sure. We didn't see any torching activity going on from those guys, so not exactly sure what it was they were going on. Could have very well just been an inspection going on while this is while they stopped to cut out maybe some of that thicker hull material to try to get the chain to possibly track back the way it was, way they're intending it to go. But just another observation we made today. Not only were there people on the ship, but we also saw personnel on the VB 10,000 up on the superstructure as well. We got some of that coming up. Just a busy day. In addition to seeing that, we also found some oil on the water today, some heavy fuel oil. All that's coming up here, so stick with us. We'll get through. Here you can see this is the west side, hull side of the ship. Obviously chained down. Still see those guys. These are the guys that were doing the cutting with the torches. The Wildcat block that we've seen implemented as they begin to get to the end of the cut, I guess in an effort to control the angle of that chain. It's slack. Everything's just kind of just hanging there, and we're not sure exactly when they stopped cutting, but it's obvious to us from what we could see that they did work quite a bit last night, and they made pretty significant progress through the cutting through the cutting operation overnight. And man, we were hoping to get out there and be able to possibly go live for you guys to see the separation of Section 7 from the VB, and the VB start lifting that section. We're going to try to get back out it's little Mullet's birthday today, and she was out on the boat with me today, and so certainly happy birthday to her. But I'm got a few things going on today, and it's kind of a busy, and they're about to finish the cut today, so a lot going on at the Mullet house. We're trying to get finished with what we have going on so that we can make it over, possibly back out today to maybe get some more video of the resumption of the cutting activities. And we're back over. This is the offshore side, the east side of the wreck, and coming back through here, this is the other guys that were at the other cut line. The crew guys were there, and we could see that they had some kind of operation. Maybe this is an inspection going on. We didn't actually see them doing any cutting with torches in here, but you could see them up on the ship. And something had their attention in this area, so they're taking a look at it, possibly checking the track of the chain from here, getting a closer look. But another activity that we don't typically see during the cutting operations on the Golden Ray. A lot of stuff going on the VB itself. Here we could see that there were personnel up on the structure of the VB itself. Got a couple pictures of some of the guys there. So again, possibly an inspection going on at the top, from the top side of the structure, maybe checking blocks or something. Now, the environmental boats were out, but we did see a lot of oil on the water. Now, we have typically seen this when they make a lift, and then we know they're getting close to starting that lift, so a good portion of the ship is open and it's exposed, all those surface areas to the water. But what we saw today was pretty ugly. In addition to just a lot of sheening out on the water, and the sheening is pretty easy to pick up when you look back, and especially when there's ripple on the water, you'll actually see it. It'll look like calmer spots in the water, pretty easy to pick up. But in some of that sheen, we found some pretty thick looking stuff. Here are a couple still shots of that. We were kind of looking through and idling through, and then we started to see stuff like this. So we got a jar and we started to collect it, and this contains a lot of heavy fuel oil. We collected some heavy fuel oil out there today, and this is bad stuff. This is what they're really concerned about, and it was mixed with some other materials in there. But here we can see where it kind of slid down the inside of the jar, and then we got once we got back, we put some of this on a paper plate and just started to kind of move it around a little bit so you guys can understand the consistency and thickness of this type of stuff. And this is the stuff that's kind of floating around. Now keep in mind, this is kind of mixed with some other stuff that's either in the water or in some of the ship debris, but it's out there and it's kind of messing around, floating around, and it's sticky. You touch this stuff and it's on you like glue. It's hard to get off. It's just really, really nasty stuff. But we did find a pretty good bit of this today in our circle around the golden ray, and kind of looking in the spots. And this was actually in the sheening areas, and that's some of that sheening we've typically seen. But there was more of this heavy fuel oil contamination, and this is the bad stuff. This is the stuff you don't want to see this stuff getting out. But it's there, and that's the big concern. Well, hey, that's me, and that's going to do it for this episode of the report. We ask if you haven't done it to click that subscribe button. Not going to cost you a thing, but it shows us that you really dig what we're doing. Send us some comments. And most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.